Seneca's core philosophy revolves around the idea that attention is our most valuable resource. Essentially, it is the capital of our lives. In a world where distractions are constant and digital overload is pervasive, it's easy to get overwhelmed by the flood of information, notifications, and demands on our time. However, as Seneca wisely teaches, it's not the sheer volume of information that overwhelms us, but rather the numerous unexamined and often unwarranted claims on our attention. These distractions are not only numerous, but often subtle, taking us away from what truly matters in our lives. The key to mastering our attention, as Seneca argues, is to recognize these distractions for what they are, interruptions that may or may not deserve our focus, and to regain control over where we direct our mental energy. In the digital age, these claims on our attention are relentless. Social media alerts, emails, messages, advertisements, and countless other interruptions constantly demand our focus. Each notification, each alert, each message is designed to pull us away from the task at hand and redirect our attention towards something external, often trivial or irrelevant. These digital distractions break our focus and scatter our thoughts, making it harder for us to engage deeply with important tasks, relationships, or personal growth. The result is a fragmented mind, overwhelmed by an endless array of tasks and inputs, but never fully immersed or productive in any one of them. Seneca's wisdom encourages us to view these interruptions with the same skepticism we would apply to any other unwarranted claim on our time or resources. Just as we would not allow others to waste our money or other valuable assets, we should not allow our attention to be frittered away on distractions that do not align with our values or goals. Rather than mindlessly responding to every notification, email, or social media post, we must consciously choose how and when to engage with these external stimuli. By doing so, we preserve our mental capital, focusing it on what is truly meaningful and productive in our lives. This means taking a proactive approach to managing our attention, recognizing when we are being pulled off course, and choosing to refocus on the tasks and goals that matter most. It also means setting boundaries around how and when we engage with digital content, whether through scheduled times to check emails or social media, or by intentionally turning off notifications during deep work sessions. In this way, we reclaim control of our attention and, by extension, our lives, ensuring that we are not constantly reacting to the demands of the digital world, but are instead acting with purpose and intentionality. By practicing this discipline, we can free ourselves from the tyranny of constant digital interruption and move toward a life that is more centered, focused, and aligned with our deeper goals. Seneca's teachings remind us that our attention is precious, one of the few resources that, once lost, can never be fully regained, and it is our responsibility to safeguard it from the distractions that continually seek to steal it. According to Seneca, the key to navigating this chaos is to approach our attention with the same seriousness we would approach any form of valuable capital. Just as we wouldn't squander our financial resources on unnecessary expenses, we shouldn't fritter away our time and focus on things that don't align with our deeper values and goals. Stoicism offers a powerful playbook for dealing with these modern distractions. The Stoic practice of mindfulness and self-reflection encourages us to examine the claims that vie for our attention. By doing so, we can decide consciously which ones are worth our time and which ones we can let go. This process allows us to refuse these distractions without guilt, understanding that we are making intentional choices to prioritize what truly matters. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us to use technology as a tool, not as a master. In the modern world, technology can be an incredibly useful resource, but it requires discipline. Seneca would argue that instead of allowing our devices and digital platforms to control us, we should learn to use them with purpose. Whether it's social media, email, or other digital tools, we should ask ourselves, does this contribute to my well-being, my work, or my goals? If the answer is no, then we have the power to disengage without feeling compelled to respond to every ping and alert. In practice, this could mean setting clear boundaries around when and how we engage with technology, perhaps setting designated times for checking emails or using social media, and creating spaces in our daily lives where we are fully present without the constant buzz of notifications. It could also involve actively choosing to curate the information we consume, ensuring that it is enriching and aligned with our values rather than simply reacting to whatever comes our way. By embracing this stoic mindset, we not only take control of our time, but also reclaim our attention as a precious commodity. We shift from being passive consumers of digital content to active, deliberate users of technology. This approach allows us to live more intentionally, with greater clarity and purpose, while minimizing the stress and overwhelm that often come with the digital age. The control check is a simple yet powerful technique designed to help you regain control over your digital behaviors, especially in moments when the urge to check, refresh, or respond instantly becomes overwhelming. In our hyper-connected world, constant notifications and digital demands can hijack our attention, often leading to impulsive actions that may not be in line with our priorities. This is where the control check comes into play. The central question in the control check is this within my control? This question serves as a moment of reflection, breaking the automatic habit of reacting to every notification, message, or email. The idea is that, in many cases, we are not in control of external events like notifications or other people's messages. What we can control, however, is how we respond to them. By pausing and asking whether the situation is within our control, we create a mental space to distance ourselves from the automatic impulse to react. Once we've established that the situation may not be entirely within our control, the next step is to ask ourselves, what is the smallest controlled action I can take next? This helps us identify a way to engage with the situation without giving in to the urge to respond immediately or overcommit to tasks that might distract us further. The smallest controlled action is crucial because it keeps us from getting caught up in the complexity of a task or decision. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the enormity of the task at hand, whether it's replying to a message, dealing with an email, or engaging with a notification, we can break it down into manageable, controlled steps. For example, writing just one sentence in reply to an email or scheduling a specific time to reply later. By focusing on the smallest action, we prevent the task from becoming an overwhelming event and maintain control over our attention and energy. This technique of the control check is an essential part of the Stoic approach to managing distractions. By pausing, reflecting, and engaging intentionally with digital content, we regain agency over our responses, ensuring that we are acting in alignment with our values and priorities rather than being driven by the constant pull of external demands. The control check not only helps us preserve our focus, but also cultivates a greater sense of self-control, allowing us to navigate the modern world with clarity and purpose, while minimizing the stress and mental clutter that often accompanies our digital lives. Rather than feeling overwhelmed by the enormity of the task at hand, whether it's replying to a message, dealing with an email, or engaging with a notification, we can break it down into manageable, controlled steps. This breakdown allows us to tackle each task with intention, reducing the cognitive load and freeing up mental space to focus on what truly matters. Instead of being consumed by the urgency of each interruption, we practice deliberate, thoughtful responses. Each action becomes a small, manageable decision, enabling us to stay in control of our time and attention. By continually applying the control check, we are not just reacting to external forces, but instead choosing our responses, strengthening our ability to prioritize, and creating a sense of order in the chaos of modern life. This practice aligns with the Stoic belief in mastering our reactions, helping us stay anchored in our values, and ultimately fostering greater resilience and clarity in the face of the digital distractions that constantly surround us. For example, write one sentence. If you're tempted to respond to an email or message, instead of diving into a lengthy reply, write just one sentence. This satisfies the urge to respond while keeping you in control of the situation. Schedule a reply window. If you can't respond immediately, schedule a time later when you'll dedicate focus to replying. This ensures that you're not neglecting the task, but you're also not letting it take over your current moment. Capture a task. If the notification is reminding you of a task or responsibility, instead of jumping into it right away, jot it down in a to-do list. This clears your mind and prevents you from forgetting, but doesn't let the task interrupt your current workflow. Close the tab. Sometimes the smallest action is simply removing the temptation. If you're checking something online and find yourself distracted, closing the tab can immediately re-establish your focus. The control check interrupts automatic assent to digital distractions by forcing a moment of conscious reflection. Our brains are wired to respond to notifications and messages, as they often carry a sense of urgency or social obligation. However, without this reflective pause, we are prone to reacting impulsively, which can lead to a loss of focus, productivity, and even overwhelm. By asking whether something is within your control, you stop treating every notification or message as a command that must be immediately obeyed. This mental shift helps you regain your autonomy and establish boundaries around your attention. Rather than reacting out of habit, you're making a deliberate choice about how to proceed. In essence, the control check is a strategy to foster mindfulness in a world full of distractions. It allows you to regain agency over your attention and actions, helping you make more intentional decisions about when and how to engage with digital content. This technique not only boosts productivity, but also helps reduce the mental clutter caused by constant interruptions, leading to a more focused and peaceful state of mind. The concept of converting notifications into appointments takes the Stoic principle of boundary setting and refines it into a highly structured, time-based practice. The idea is that instead of reacting to notifications based on your emotional state or whims, you intentionally set fixed times during the day to engage with communication and tasks. This approach adds clarity, reduces stress, and helps you prioritize focus without feeling like you're neglecting responsibilities. In many modern digital environments, people often respond to notifications based on their mood or emotional state. When we feel anxious, curious, or simply compelled to act, we impulsively check our emails, messages, or social media feeds. However, this kind of mood-based response is reactive, leading to fragmented attention and a lack of control over how our time is spent. By setting fixed times to handle communication, you create boundaries that allow you to concentrate on other tasks without the constant disruption of incoming notifications. Instead of feeling like you need to address everything immediately, you give yourself permission to ignore distractions and stay focused on your current priorities. This method of structured engagement ensures that you're not pulled in multiple directions based on fleeting emotions or external pressures. It provides a sense of control and agency over your time, enabling you to act with purpose and clarity rather than reaction. This Stoic-inspired practice helps you navigate the digital landscape more intentionally, ensuring that you're working towards your goals without losing sight of your mental well-being. A Stoic approach to boundary setting flips this dynamic. Instead of allowing moods or immediate feelings to dictate when you respond to notifications, you create clear, fixed communication windows. These are designated periods during the day when you will engage with notifications, emails, and messages at your own pace within a pre-planned framework. This time-based structure allows you to take control of your digital environment, ensuring that you don't fall into the trap of impulsive, mood-driven responses. To implement this approach, you can create 2 or 3 fixed communication windows each day. These windows are specific times when you intentionally check and respond to messages, emails, or notifications. For example, 11:30 a.m. Check and respond to any urgent emails or messages. 3:30 p.m. Handle additional notifications or communications. 6 p.m. Final check before winding down for the evening. Outside these windows, all notifications are turned off and your inbox is closed. This means that from the moment your communication windows are over, you are not bombarded by distractions, and you can focus fully on the work or personal activities at hand. A key element of Stoic philosophy is the concept of justice, fulfilling our responsibilities not only to others, but also to ourselves. By setting time-based boundaries, you're not being unresponsive or neglecting your duties. Instead, you're practicing justice to your responsibilities in a more focused and intentional manner. You're acknowledging that your time and attention are valuable resources, and you are making the conscious decision to protect them. When you practice this Stoic form of boundary setting, you're actively prioritizing your focus and well-being. Responding to messages and notifications without boundaries can lead to stress, overwhelm, and diminished quality of work. By setting fixed times for communication, you're ensuring that you're not constantly pulled in different directions. You create a space where your work, creativity, and personal time are protected, enabling you to give your full attention to each task during its designated time. The Seneca Ledger is a weekly reflection tool inspired by Stoic principles, designed to help you assess how you're spending your time and make intentional adjustments. The exercise takes just 15 minutes each week, but provides valuable insights into how you're using your most finite resource, time. By regularly tracking both time-wasting activities and time-investing habits, you can take a more proactive approach to how you engage with the digital world and focus on what truly matters. Here's how it works. What stole time? Apps, sites, threads. The first part of the ledger involves identifying what distracted or wasted your time over the past week. This could include apps, social media apps, messaging platforms, or games that led to hours of passive scrolling, websites, news sites, YouTube, or any online destination that pulled you away from your focused tasks. Threads, email chains, group chats, or social media discussions that weren't valuable but consumed significant portions of your time. By being honest with yourself about these time stealers, you gain clarity on what's siphoning away your attention and reducing your productivity. What invested time, work that compounds, learning, relationships, health. In this section, you reflect on the activities that added value to your life and contributed to long-term growth. These are the actions that compound over time, bringing personal fulfillment, productivity, and well-being. Consider work that compounds, tasks that contribute to long-term goals or projects that grow in value with consistent effort. Learning, engaging with educational content, developing new skills, or reflecting on what you've learned. Relationships, time spent nurturing meaningful connections with family, friends, or colleagues. Health, physical activity, mental wellness practices, or anything that contributes to your overall well-being. These are the investments that build over time, creating a foundation for future success and happiness. One boundary change for next week. After reviewing the time stealers and time investments, it's essential to make one concrete change in your boundaries for the upcoming week. This is where you identify one area where you can improve. Some examples could be turning off notifications during certain hours. Limiting social media usage to a specific time window is a powerful way to reclaim control over your attention and manage distractions. Social media platforms are designed to capture your focus, drawing you into endless scrolling and constant updates that can easily consume hours of your day. Setting a specific time window, such as 30 minutes in the morning or evening, ensures that you engage with these platforms with purpose and intention. By adhering to this boundary, you prevent the passive, mindless consumption of content and create dedicated moments for other meaningful activities. This approach not only helps you avoid digital burnout, but also creates space for more productive, fulfilling endeavors. Setting a goal to read or study for a set amount of time each day is an essential practice for refining your relationship with time and ensuring that personal growth remains a priority. In a world full of distractions, it's easy for activities like reading and studying to get pushed aside in favor of more immediate pleasures, like mindlessly scrolling through social media or watching TV. However, engaging with new ideas through reading and dedicating time to study can significantly enrich your life, improve your skills, and broaden your perspective on the world. Without a clear goal or structured time allocation, these opportunities for intellectual growth are often left untapped. By committing to a daily reading or study session, you make a conscious choice to invest in your intellectual development. This decision is a fundamental aspect of Stoic discipline, where intentionality is key to improving oneself. By setting aside just 20 or 30 minutes each day, whether it's early in the morning, during lunch, or before bed, you are taking proactive steps to enrich your mind. Though these sessions may feel like small increments of time, the long-term benefits of consistent learning are undeniable. Over time, these moments of reflection and study accumulate into a substantial body of knowledge that shapes your thoughts, decisions, and worldview. The beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity. You don't need to carve out hours of your day to see significant improvements. In fact, it's the consistency that matters most. Whether you're reading a book, listening to an educational podcast, or diving into a specific area of study, the process of dedicating time to learning each day fosters a habit of growth. This can lead to a profound transformation, not just in what you know, but in how you approach problems, think critically, and make decisions. These daily learning sessions provide the mental exercise necessary to sharpen your mind and expand your horizons. Over the course of weeks and months, you'll find that you've gained new knowledge, enhanced your critical thinking skills, and perhaps even developed new areas of expertise. These accumulated lessons often emerge in unexpected ways, influencing your perspectives, enhancing your creativity, and making you more adaptable in both personal and professional environments. The ongoing pursuit of knowledge becomes a powerful tool for personal growth, helping you navigate complex situations with a broader understanding and a clearer sense of purpose. Moreover, this practice encourages you to think more deeply about the world around you. As you engage with new ideas, concepts, and frameworks, you begin to see connections between seemingly unrelated subjects. Your learning becomes more holistic, and you develop the ability to view challenges from multiple angles. This can lead to more thoughtful decision-making and a greater sense of empathy, as you understand not only the facts, but also the underlying principles and contexts that shape different perspectives. Incorporating daily study or reading into your routine doesn't just improve your knowledge. It enhances your ability to engage with the world with purpose and clarity. It helps you stay grounded in your values, challenges your assumptions, and empowers you to live more intentionally. This intellectual investment is one of the best ways to ensure that you continue growing, not only in your career or hobbies, but also as a person. With each passing day, the small, consistent efforts you make to improve your mind compound, creating a strong foundation for lifelong learning and personal fulfillment. Consistency is key to this practice. The goal isn't to read or study for hours on end, but rather to create a sustainable habit that fits seamlessly into your daily routine. Consistent, focused reading or study sessions, even if brief, reinforce a sense of discipline and commitment. It's about making learning a daily priority and carving out the time to engage with meaningful content. This consistency allows you to keep building on the knowledge you gain, steadily expanding your intellectual capacity and moving closer to mastery in areas that matter most to you. Moreover, setting a time goal for reading or studying provides a clear, measurable target that helps keep you on track. Without such a goal, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the vast amount of material to cover or distracted by other commitments. By breaking it down into manageable chunks, you make intellectual growth feel achievable rather than daunting. This sense of accomplishment and forward progress can also help counter any feelings of stagnation, fostering a continuous desire for learning and self-improvement. Lastly, committing to reading and studying each day can significantly shift your mindset. Rather than viewing learning as a task or something to do when you have time, you begin to see it as a vital part of your daily life, a habit that feeds your mind and soul. Over time, you'll not only see an accumulation of knowledge, but also a deeper understanding of the world, yourself, and the various fields of interest that you engage with. This habit, though small, becomes a cornerstone of long-term personal development and intellectual fulfillment. Scheduling family time without distractions or work-related interruptions is equally important for maintaining meaningful relationships and promoting mental well-being. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to let work or digital devices interfere with quality family moments. Whether it's a dinner together, a weekend outing, or simply sitting down for a conversation, setting aside uninterrupted time for family fosters stronger bonds and creates space for shared experiences. By deliberately turning off notifications and putting away devices during these moments, you demonstrate respect for your loved ones and prioritize connection over external distractions. This not only improves relationships, but also promotes a sense of balance and contentment in your life. The boundary change should be simple but impactful, helping you refine your relationship with time and focus. By intentionally setting these limits, you create a structured framework that allows you to dedicate your energy to what truly matters. Over time, the small adjustments you make to your daily routine, like limiting social media, prioritizing reading or studying, and scheduling family time, compound to bring about meaningful improvements. These habits, when repeated consistently, help you develop discipline, sharpen your focus, and ultimately lead to a more intentional, fulfilling life. The key is not to focus on drastic changes, but on consistent, manageable steps that align with your values and long-term goals.